Hi, this is Kazarov.
More than 100,000 people marched through central London on September 13 in a large anti-immigration rally branded Unite the Kingdom, police and organizers said. The event was led by activist Tommy Robinson and drew crowds carrying Union Jack and St. George's flags, with some participants criticizing Prime Minister Keir Starmer and chanting anti-migrant slogans. The Metropolitan Police deployed roughly 1,600 officers, including reinforcements from other forces, to manage the march and a separate counter-protest organized by Stand Up to Racism that gathered about 5,000 people nearby. Authorities said crowds were significantly larger than many recent right-wing demonstrations in the UK. The procession moved through Westminster and Whitehall under strict conditions set by police to keep rival groups apart and maintain a sterile corridor. Officers warned of potential disorder and urged marchers to stay within the agreed route as the day progressed.
I never thought I'd see anti-immigration rallies taking place in London, but here we are, 100,000 people out in the streets, according to police estimates. And let's be honest, the police always underreport the numbers. So, how many more across Britain silently support this protest, these chants, these demands? The government has pushed the country to the brink. Let's stop lying to ourselves. Let's be honest. People are at the edge. They feel like strangers, unwanted, in their own country, a country where they were born and raised, a country they gave their health, their time, their energy to. And now the government turns around and says, migrants are more important to us. Starmer and the people in charge, are you serious? What kind of national policy is this? Migrants get everything and native breeds get nothing. The government tells its people, you should be the ones paying for the lives of illegal migrants. Let that sink in. Illegal migrants, sure. It would make sense if someone came from Syria or Iran, educated, willing to work, eager to become part of British culture, a beautiful culture. British traditions run deep, the world admires them. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is this. People come in who don't want to work. They live off the system. They form street gangs, they intimidate communities, and the police, they're afraid to open cases, they're afraid to act. Why? Because it's not tolerant, because it violates migrant rights. Have you lost your minds? British people are afraid to leave their homes. The streets aren't safe. You might get jumped by a migrant gang, and if you are lucky, you'll survive. You go to the police, and what do you get? A shrug. Sorry, nothing we can do. What the hell is going on? People have had enough. Think about it. A mass protest in London, not for benefits or handouts, but simply demanding law, order and justice. And what has the British Crown become? A circus.
Police reported violent clashes during the march, saying some protesters broke from the authorized route and attempted to push through police lines near Whitehall. The Metropolitan Police said 26 officers were injured, 4 seriously, after being struck by objects and assaulted during confrontations. At least 25 arrests were made on suspicion of offenses, including assault on emergency workers and public order violations. Video from the scene showed officers in helmets separating groups and forming cordons as tensions rose. Police said they would review extensive CCTV and body-worn footage to identify further suspects. Nearby, counter-demonstrators rallied under anti-racism banners. Officers maintained distance between the gatherings to prevent direct contact. Emergency services remained on standby, and authorities warned that further arrests were likely as investigators analyzed evidence collected from the protest areas overnight.
And the British elites, let's talk about them. They couldn't care less about street crime. You ask them, is there a problem with gangs and violence? They say, we don't see anything. Of course, they don't. They live in luxury suburbs, behind gates, with private security. They don't walk the streets. They don't shop in public. They are completely detached from reality. But what if, just imagine, a few sons or daughters of the elite had a run-in with these gangs on the street? Then suddenly it's front page views. Suddenly the media would scream, it's dangerous, something must be done. But when it's happening to ordinary Brits, no one gives a damn. Jobs are disappearing, young people see no future in their own country, they leave, and the government says, no worries, we'll just replace them with migrants. That's your plan? Really? That's your national strategy? No, that's political cowardice. That's what you get when the government is full of career politicians soaked in corruption, busy getting rich while people suffer. Migrant ghettos? No big deal. Migrant crime? Don't talk about it. This is a disaster. And now, these same elites, the entire ruling class, are hiding in their mansions and government offices, scared. Because the people finally said it loud and clear. We won't take this anymore. We are done. And the elites, nowhere to be found. They are hiding. They are shaking in fear. Why did you let it come to this? How is anyone supposed to live in this country now? How are they supposed to survive? What are these migrant ghettos where even police are scared to go? What is this wave of street crime that's being ignored? You let this country fall apart. Take a walk through London early in the morning and ask yourself honestly, is this still London or somewhere else entirely? A railway station looks more like Baghdad than Britain. 100,000 people marched, and rightly so. The British people have been patient for over 20 years. Can you imagine that level of restraint? But now it's over. People have had it. This cannot go on. Look at the appointments in government. Look at parliament. You've got impotent leaders who have no idea how to fix any of it. And if you don't know how to fix it, then get out of the way. Let the people vote. Let them elect leaders who actually care about this country. Stop humiliating Britain.
Organizers presented the rally as a free speech event centered on immigration policy. Activist Tommy Robinson addressed the crowd. Tech entrepreneur Elon Musk also appeared by video, criticizing the UK government's approach and urging supporters to fight back, according to local media. Police said the march occurred amid a broader wave of anti-immigration protests across the UK this summer, including disturbances near sites housing asylum seekers. Officials noted that small boat arrivals across the Channel have exceeded 28,000 so far this year, intensifying political debate. The counter-protest, supported by trade unions and anti-racism groups, condemned the rally's rhetoric and called for community safety. The Metropolitan Police said public order investigations would continue in the coming days, with arrests expected to rise as footage is reviewed and individuals are identified for alleged offenses linked to Saturday's unrest.